Looks like we got a lot of votes in. Yes is the overwhelming winner, so we are going to create a new character. Well, the character we make will be played on stream consistently. So if we run into issues later, then we'll see. Okay, yeah, so let's go to characters. Branch is the character we played last time. Create a new hero. You feel empty and weightless, drifting in the endless sea of the mists. Memories slip away, recalling anything is like catching a fish with your bare hands. You are? Alright. The stream should last until about 3:30 p.m. PST, or 4 hours from now. Okay, so here we are. Let's do... oh, yeah, let's end the poll. And... we got human, elf, dwarf, and halfling. Tiefling is not currently on the desktop version. It will be added soon. It won't take long. And of course, we can fully customize it how we want. How's it going, George? What was I last time? Last time I was a human that was actually a kobold. So we played as a kobold, but the race choice was human. I'm glad you're enjoying the game. Okay, looks like Dwarf is in the lead. We got plenty of votes. Let's end that now. All right, Dwarf it is. All right, people. Just type in the chat for this one. We male, female, non-binary. This will help determine my voice for the character. I will be doing voices, so keep that in mind. Male, male, female, 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 female. Male, girl, female. Okay, well, it's definitely not non-binary. Ooh, it does seem 50-50. Okay, we are going to put it to a poll. We are going to put it to a poll. It's too close to 50-50. Thank you, Thomas. I can do I can do a decent number of voices. Female won't be too hard. Honestly, the character they chose last, the kobold, would be was much more difficult, as he had such a high-pitched voice. But if we are going to go as a dwarf, it won't be too bad. I doubt dwarf female and dwarf male sound all too different. All right. All right, we got 42 votes in. Let's end the poll. It looks like female took it. Not a problem. Female dwarves do sound very, very similar to male dwarves. I could even still have a beard. All right. Not that. Warlock and Barbarian. Cockney accent. I'm not so good with English accents. With British accents. Warlock, overwhelmingly. That's, you know, solid choice. Solid choice. Yeah. As long as people aren't picking Rogue. Rogue's far too common. Okay, Warlock's taking it by a huge margin. We'll end the poll there. What about an Australian accent? We'll see. We'll see how they come. Okay, so we're a Dwarf Warlock. Gotcha. I'm playing as a rogue. I'm enjoying it. I know nothing about D&D. The only reason I say I don't want to play as a rogue is rogues are currently the easiest and one of the least buggiest classes at the moment. So they run into the least amount of bugs and issues. I think Warlock runs into the most. So we can really see this is streaming hard mode for me. Beast Speech, Eyes of the Runekeeper. The Kobold was a fighter. Eyes of the Runekeeper. Dark Sight. Beast Speech. Okay, so nobody wants Armor of Shadows. I'm seeing a lot for Beast Speech. I know people here are crazy for pets. Runekeeper gives a lot of DM engagement. I agree. Runekeeper comes up a lot whenever you select it. The DM really likes to bring it up. Runekeeper. Okay. I think Runekeeper it is. Let's do it. You will read all writing, including ancient scripts and magical texts. This does not automatically decipher coded messages. Okay. I'm taking Eldritch Blast. You guys can't stop me. Why did y'all pick girl? It'll be fine. It's a girl dwarf, honestly. They're hard to tell apart. Mind Sliver, people, Minor Illusion, Mage Hand. I think a utility spell would do well. I think Mage Hand or Minor Illusion are the two choices here. Minor Illusion goes hard. Minor Illusion. Alright, looks like Minor Illusion it is. Do it. Alright. I'm taking Glimpse of Hunger. The reason being, it's the strongest early spell to take. but also it's the most bugged. This spell is known for hitting the person who casts it, which can go terribly for a game. So I'll select it to show how I get around it. Taint. Taint's kind of boring though. You cast it and then like you never see it again. Not a lot of fun. Hysterica. I agree. Hysterica. Okay. Hysterica it is. Let's take it. Alright. Let's see. We're charisma. So we gotta have deception or intimidation. Are we more lying or are we more we're more intimidating? What's going on? How will we play? Will we be deceiving people left and right? Intimidating. Deception. I'm seeing more lean towards deception. Oh, no, intimidating. Alright. Let's do it. This will be a big part of the character, so we'll do the poll. Arcane history. More variety with deception. I do like a character that lies, but I'm totally down for an intimidating character as well. It's a lot of fun to sort of walk on the bad guy and have them quake in fear as you approach. Okay, it's really close. We'll let a couple of more votes come in. I played Arcane History. Alright. It does seem Arcana is the other choice that people want to go for, which I totally get. Arcana is a good choice. Okay. It looks like deception wins. We are a deceitful dwarf who knows magic. We didn't, yeah, Tiefling isn't available, so we can't get the bonus to Charisma. Intelligence. I am on the desktop version, Arbiter. Well, yeah, we're going to want Charisma to be high. This is our starred stat. It means that it's our most important one. It's what our class skills are based off of. If you want decent rolls for all of your main abilities, you're going to want to bump up your star stat. Constitution. We are dwarf. I think Constitution does make sense. Let's maybe get 12. I think intelligence makes sense since we put points into Arcana. I don't think we need super high wisdom. I think Dex for AC makes a lot of sense. I don't think we need strength. We're dumping it. And I think maybe 14 dexterity too to get us there. 13 intelligence. We'll get +1 from our ASI to get us up. But I think this is a reasonable stat layout. Make her clumsy? Oh no. Bad AC is a great way to get your character killed, especially a Warlock. Looks good. I think it looks good as well. Alright, let's continue. I agree. Flaws do make a character interesting. Okay, so let's talk about looks. Or even race. Am I a special type of dwarf? Any special characteristics to the race or anything like that? Am I a mountain dwarf? Underground? A dwargar, perhaps? Do I have fire in my beard? A gigantic dwarf? Yeah, could be. A super dwarf? Ocean dwarf? Yeah, all great. Dragon dwarf? That sounds dope. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds cool. We could definitely work with that. Underground? Yeah, that's a dwargar. Mountain dwarf, get bonus to strength. Yeah, mountain. We won't actually get any change to stats here. It's just this is just going to be the flavor for a class. Half dwarf, half Goliath. Elf dwarf. In original D&D, half elves, half dwarves were seen as monstrosities. They were considered to have the worst of both races. Cloud giant dwarf. I'm seeing a lot of giant dwarf. That's great. We can do that. We've received the same cat ears request from the same person. Mind Flayer dwarf. Draconian dwarf. Just be constant. Oh, I'm stuck in the pit. Okay, it looks like we're going to be some type of giant dragon dwarf. Yeah. That seems to be the ones that I see coming up the most. So we'll go with that. Alright. So we'll be tall. We'll be big. But we won't be crazy big. We'll be more wide. Alright. Dwarf Chimera, yeah. Yeah, start thinking up special abilities. What does a dragon dwarf's special abilities look like? Don't focus on stats, but yeah, something like a breath weapon, potentially flight, although dwarves aren't really known for flight, so that might go poorly with that theme. Smell gold, right? Dwarves are known for liking gold and treasure. Dragons are known for liking gold and treasure. That all works really well. Dwarves do drink, yes. What type of dragon am I? Give me a color. Am I metallic, gem, chromatic? Bronze, obsidian, silver, gold, red. We got a lot of options here. Black and red. Diamond. Okay, alright. I saw obsidian multiple times. So we'll be obsidian. Any details to the obsidian? I saw black and red. I saw obsidian with silver. Your hair can become metal. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of obsidian in red. Someone said cracks and highlights. I like that. We'll do that. Hey, Andy, what's going on? Not metachromatic, heterochromatic. Okay. Alright, so yes, we mentioned powers. It seems like people are fond of the breath weapon idea. I do like white/silver hair. We'll do white metallic hair. That sounds cool. Yeah, I forgot the cat ear. I don't think we're doing the cat ears this time. I think we have a character with cat ears already. The cat ears are a must. The breath weapon gives people cat ears. Oh, that makes so much sense. Okay, so what am I breathing? Am I breathing fire or poison? Speaking Draconic is easy to convince the DM. I don't have to put it in my backstory. Breathe acid. Fire. Fire. Poison. Chloroform gas. Lava. Perfume. Acid. I do like the lava idea, but maybe we'll go. Toxic gas. It makes you hallucinate. Burning ale breath. It's just like beer burps, but but just like extra potent because I'm a dwarf dragon. Okay. I like lava. I like acid. We have a sort of lava theme going on right now, and I think we can stick with that. Yeah, we'll avoid the real complicated ones. I don't think I'm breathing chloroform. This bit here is for the combat DM. The narrative DM won't care about it, but the combat DM will see it. Okay. You can specify that in the appearance? Yes, you can. Yeah, for everyone who is confused right now, after the stream, you can check out the guide, which I've written to contain mini tips just like this, so you know how to get the most out of your story. All right. We can make it slightly more reasonable on failed deck save. We'll call it DC 16. It's more reasonable than less reasonable because it's difficult. All right. This is an important part of putting together the character. Me and Andy do have different views on how this should be done, but I like to do it this way just to make everything fit nicely with the themes of the game that you want to make. So, DM themes. What style of game are we playing? We have a Warlock patron. They will be Fiend, but we can rework it. My patron can be a dragon or something. Josh Richards. Yeah, if you're finding that you're not able to get high damage weapons, ask for it specifically. Be specific about the amount of damage that you want from the weapon. The DM might make you go on a quest for it or something like that. But once you put it in your inventory, remind the DM of how much damage it was said to do so that it gets added into your inventory correctly. All right, so we got comedy, underdark, dark. Rom-com? I think we'll avoid rom-com. We're not trying to do romance, I don't think, too much. Dark fantasy. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of dark. I'm seeing a lot of comedy. So let's do... Yeah, we're... We won't do dark comedy, but we'll do dark fantasy. Humorous. Adventure. Action adventure. Tragic past. Okay, I'm seeing action adventure. Realistic dialogue for sure. Someone's read the guide. Oh. Slice of life is nice, but I don't think we're already doing action adventure and dark fantasy. I don't think we're trying to hit slice of life on this one. Isekai? I saw another isekai mention as well. Intrigue? Maybe. Do we want to do anything specific with like magic or anything like that? We're Warlock, but we can focus more on the abilities it gives me and less about the magic itself. But we got Arcana here, so if we wanted to do something with that. How does realistic dialogue change the narrative, DM? They use less sort of like cryptic language. They get more to the point. Yeah, it's a great tool to get the DM to speak more like a normal person, so that the game feels so you don't have to like try so hard to get the NPCs to tell you the information you want. You can talk to them like you would a normal person, and they respond to you in a pretty normal way. It's not perfect, but it's I've noticed across my games that it's a big help. A little magic would be good. I agree. Random chaos magic when casting magic. Magic school, dark academia. I don't think school's the vibe here. We're going dark, so I think we want to stick more to artificing. Because magic is fading due to a curse. Quest to find the cure. Warring gods. I do like Warring Gods, but let's see. How do I get NPCs to stop glazing me so much? Okay. All right. I like artificing. We'll do artificing. That'll be our last theme. All right. Our setting. I saw Warring Gods. Undead Outbreak, that's nice. I think we're gonna avoid species segregation. Once again, I don't mind tackling harder themes, but we got some younger people in the Discord. We want to make sure they can participate as well. Random chance items. Okay. For setting, okay. How about this? Are we in a real life country, or are we in a completely fantasy world? Fantasy world, completely fantasy. Great. Sick. All right, so we're in a completely fantasy world. So I'm gonna make up a country here. Pandaria, no. I'm trying to avoid any set up pre-existing IP, just because I don't want the DM pulling from sources that I'm not super familiar with. Yeah, I'm not trying to like pull from an exact IP. It's my world. I want to play in a Hrothgar. country of Mythgar. What are the people in Mythgar like? Do they resemble a type of people on Earth? Think like names that you would want to see in the setting. Viking, okay. Steampunk. I think we're going. Yeah, steampunk. The opportunity for steampunk is past. Yeah, org names. Okay. Okay. And I think we're just out of space. That's great. For my bio. Okay. So I saw for the most part people want a dragon patron. Okay. We're going Tiamat. I saw that one come up earlier as well. Yep. We got Tiamat. Okay. What's some goals of Tiamat? What's she trying to do, and what am I trying to do? I think Bahamut's too good for the dark campaign that we're doing. I like Tiamat. But I don't have to be as bad as Tiamat. Tiamat can have goals and I can have goals and they can be different. That's a good way to add interest into your game, because you're at odds with your own patron. Okay, I see people talking about like domination and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Trying to find her own dragon egg is exactly the sort of thing we want here. We want specific goals. We want something the DM can really latch onto. I must kill the rest of the dragon dwarves. Tiamat tries to get to the material plane. Okay. That's a great goal. Tiamat wants gold and glory. He just wants to survive. Okay. So, I'm going to mix a couple of the ones I saw here. So, Tiamat wishes to break into... Actually, Tiamat needs my help to break into the material plane so she can Add Vecna. I'm gonna try and stay away from adding too many too many specific characters. Vecna is... Ooh. Actually, I don't remember if Vecna is actually licensed. I think he is, but he might not be. But either way, I'm gonna avoid Vecna. Okay, what are my goals? What am I trying to do? We're deceptive, so we've obviously gone along with Tiamat's plan so that we can gain power. But what do we need that power for? Why is it that I care to have Tiamat's powers? That I would risk bringing Tiamat to this world just so I can accomplish my goals? To turn into a true dragon yourself. It's not a bad one. I like the specificity there. To avenge your tribe. Also good. To godhood. The godhood one is like good. I think the dragon one is more thematic and it has a similar feel to it. I don't think I want world domination. We want to make a likable bad guy here. I'm dying, but I don't want to die. Trying to become a true dragon sounds cool as hell. I agree. I like the true dragon one. Maybe I'm trying to become a true dragon so I can avenge my tribe. Let's go with that. I capitalized true unnecessarily as indication for the DM when they read it to signify its importance. I don't know why it is the case, but they do seem to find that better to latch onto and understand that it means something significant. What? One. Oh, backwards. Capitalization works, yeah. But only in contrast to the rest of the text. Don't just do everything capital. That's right. Maybe her tribe was cursed, and that's why it needs to be avenged. Yeah, who or what messed up my tribe? We need we want a starting villain, something to work towards. Maybe sometime around level 4 or 5 we would go try and interact with them. Soul-eating Reaper dragons. Yeah. Might be a bit complex. Let's join this unit to defeat them. Tribe cursed by a curse on some ancient gold. It's always elves. Yeah. Once again, I'm trying to avoid specifically a race thing. We want like one sort of, perhaps an organization, but more so based on ideals and not race. Earth elementals. Dragons versus chaos demons. Scapegoat. Order of Dragon Slaying Knights. Ooh, I do like that one. Order of Dragon Slaying Knights is great. Okay. Well, yeah, we can figure out why they do it later. That can always be a mystery. We want to leave room for the DM to mess around. Let's make them holy, not professional. Holy dragon killers. Order of the Everweave. I like that idea. Let's do it. Why not? Let's see. Oh, we got so much space, guys. We got so much space. We got about three lines. Come on. We got more backstory to do. Okay. So, I think we have enough in our backstory, actually. So here's what I typically do. I tell the DM a rough outline of how I envision the game. Oh, you know what? We also forgot to add a skill DC. How hard do we want the game? Do we want me to never succeed, or do we want me breezing through stuff? Do we want average DC 10? What's the feeling? I personally think if you're not a rogue, DC 10 is like the best way to go, but we'll go with what people want. Average 10. Do 15 or 10. Yeah. Okay. 10 seems about right. Actually, if you put 8 to 12, it'll go all the way up to 12 every time. DC 11 to be quirky. Okay. So, yeah. So, for this line here... For this line here, I like to tell the DM how I want the game... How I imagine the game going. Just so it has a direction, a feel to the campaign. I think that, yeah, we're getting close. Yeah, and we're out, folks. All right, so quick recap for people who joined late and for everyone who's been here so far. We are a dwarf, gender female, class warlock. Our strength is 8, our dexterity is 14, our intelligence is 13, our constitution is currently 12, although it will go up to 14. Our wisdom is 8, and our charisma is 16. Just to recap our character here, we're a 6 foot, 6 inch tall dragon dwarf with obsidian scales, with cracks running through them that glow like magma. I have heterochromatic eyes, one pink, one purple. With white metallic hair, and I can breathe lava. And we are playing a dark fantasy, funny action adventure with crafting. And the world is a band of brutal tribesmen warriors, or several bands of brutal tribesmen warriors fighting over the resources of the land. Mysteries are a risky play. Let's see, where do we get... Oh, yeah, ancient mysteries. You're right. I actually would be more specific here. I'm going to put ancient artifacts. All right. Name. Giara. Hulu. Shimmy. Not Lyra. Jade. Jade is nice. I like the metal theme, but we're made of obsidian, so I want to maybe pay some homage to that. Ruby? Ruby's good. Mithril. I do like mithril for my hair. That sort of white metal. Onyx. Ebony. Volcanus. Obsidia. I like that as well. Alright. I think I'm going to go Obsidia Mithril. Hey, stop trying to fill in stuff. Okay. We can pick one of these. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you guys what I do to get a fun start. But you want to pick one that's going to most fit your theme off the bat. Nyx is cool. My dog is named Nyx, though, so she would be very confused. Inverted Forest is one of the starts where you start upside down in a pretty normal forest. Gloomy Dungeon. fit for a dwarf. Yeah, I don't like starting Desolate Beach. It seems to inject some really difficult themes of like maritime adventure into the game that are hard to get rid of. I think the dungeon's pretty good. Don't know why I'm there. Zamiri, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. But we want to pick one that fits the theme of the game first. That gets you the best chance of lining up the themes of the game. Start you off the best. I think Gloomy Dungeon is right. Alright. All this is great. It's a great start if you haven't played it before. I've played through it a couple of dozen times, so I want a unique start. So this is what I usually tell the DM. Use please and thank you for your DM, okay? It feels silly to do, but if you sass your DM, they'll sass you back. If you act kindly and nicely, they act kindly and nicely back. They sort of match your energy. Okay, so I said, DM, please create a unique starting scenario for my character, using their character description and backstory for the themes and setting. I mean, yeah, you can get away with being mean to your DM, but it can always come back to bite you. If you're nice, your DM will be nice. Okay, let's get comfortable. Alright. The biting winds of Mythgar clawed at your obsidian scales as a sudden, brutal blizzard descended upon the jagged peaks of the Frostfang Pass. Visibility dropped to mere feet, forcing you to seek immediate shelter. Through the swirling snow, a gaping maw in the mountainside appeared. A partially collapsed entrance to what looked like an ancient dwarven mine, now crudely shored up with rough-hewn timbers. Smoke curled from within, hinting at warmth, but also occupancy. As you pushed aside a thick hide covering the entrance, the air immediately grew warmer, carrying the scent of wood smoke, sweat, and something else. Acrid, metallic. 3 hulking figures, clad in furs and crude mail, turned with a snarl, their axes instinctively rising. Their eyes, wide with surprise and suspicion, fixated on your glowing, magma-like cracks and heterochromic gaze. Ancient draconic carvings, barely visible beneath centuries of grime, adorned the cold stone walls around them. They barked something in harsh, guttural tongue, their stance clearly hostile. All right. All right. So, and yeah, it looks like we have some enemies here. We might be starting early with combat. Let's check our equipment. So we're doing, we got leather armor, giving us 11 AC. And leather boots, giving us nothing. Dagger and leather gloves. Not rocking the best equipment at the start. What's our total AC? Was it 13? I think that's right. Yeah, 13 armor class. And our constitution is now up to +2, so we have a total of 10 hit points. But we got a couple of spells here that we can use that'll help out. We got 3 people here, so we can either go for the attack or we can try and trick them. But they don't speak our language, seemingly, so we'll have to trick them visually. These are obvious friends. All right, are we fighting or are we tricking? Just go and sit by the fire. Deception start. Yes, you always start with the same equipment. I was just showing everyone. Some people haven't played Warlock and don't know what you start with. Tricking. All right. We are tricking. All right. Well, we have a cantrip. We have minor illusion. So let's work with that. As they turn my way, I cast minor illusion, cloaking myself in a disguise similar to their appearance. Disguise. I then speak in a series of guttural grunts. You guys will all see how bad I am at spelling on the fly. Alright, our first ability check, and as we can see, it is outside the parameters that we set for the DM. So we'll ask him to lower those DCs. That's a pretty high, although it is charisma and our deception, so we have a decent chance of getting it anyways. But for your other skill checks that aren't your main stat, this will be pretty hard for you to hit just about ever. Natural 20, folks! If that's not a good sign for the campaign, I don't know what is. This is not helping. This is not helping the claims that the game rolls well for me, which happened in the first stream as well. Don't jinx it. Let's go. All right. A shimmer distorts the air around you for a fleeting moment, and then your unique draconic features seem to melt away, replaced by a rough, fur-clad visage of one of their own. Your guttural grunts, though perhaps not perfectly fluent, resonate with the harsh tones of their language. The 3 figures who had been poised to strike falter. Their axes, raised in aggression, dip slightly as confusion flickers across their weathered faces. They exchange bewildered glances, their hostile posturing giving way to a wary, uncertain stance. One of them, older and more heavily scarred, takes a tentative step forward, scrutinizing you with narrowed eyes, trying to reconcile your sudden appearance and transformation with their understanding of intruders. The draconic carvings on the wall seem to almost pulse with the unspoken tension in the air. Scripted. It feels like you're supposed to be successful. It's returned to be a lower result, even with that disadvantage. let's see. All right. Try to confuse them to believe you are a spy. I guess we need to make you a special build with a voiceover. Although I do like the manly voice. Drop back. And pull out food to share. Oh, yeah. We can try and get away with splitting some rations. Making better decisions. Alright. Yeah, I think we're just trying to stay out of the blizzard right now. Okay. Yeah, let's food them. First, I want to indicate to the DM that maybe the skill checks are a little high. So I'm asking DM, please lower the difficulty of future skill checks to about 10, as I am level 1, and can't roll high very often. Just give your DM a reason. It doesn't even have to be a good one. Try and steal the good equipment. I don't know if they have good equipment. They're kind of the DM will check for consistency, and he's talked about them sort of holding crude axes, so they likely don't have nice gear. Do I have rations? I don't have rations. Yeah, no rations here, but I don't think the DM will make a fuss. So let's do it. Alright. I sit by the fire. And pull out a few rations from my pack. Actually, we'll not say from my pack. That'll make the DM check my inventory. And then he might actually have a problem with me doing this. I eat one and offer the rest to the creatures. I study them as they decide whether or not to take them. Yeah, see, he didn't complain about it. If I made it my whole statement that that I pull out rations, it's possible the DM checks whether or not I have rations and then decides I don't have rations and blocks it off. Says you can't do that, you don't have it. And then you get in an argument with the DM over something petty. Whereas I just sort of made it a fact that I do have rations and then continued to put them into the rest of the text. The DM understands that it's necessary for any of the text to go through, and so they just keep it in. They don't question it. And so, no problem. Let's hope that's the case. It could say that I reach into my pack and there's nothing there. You settle down by the sputtering fire. Its meager warmth a welcome contrast to the frigid mountain air. From your pack, you retrieve a few hardtack rations, taking a bite of one before extending the rest towards the wary trio. Great job, we have them. The older scarred tribesman exchanges a few more guttural words with his companions, their gazes still fixed on you. Though the overt hostility has lessened, they are indeed formidable figures. Oh, so, whoop, whoop. Maybe I missed... though the hostility has lessened. They are indeed formidable figures, powerful build, their bodies adorned with crude tattoos and piercings. Animal pelts form their primary clothing, and their axes, spears, and heavy clubs show clear signs of frequent, brutal use. Near the fire, the draconic carvings on the cavern walls are more pronounced, illuminated by the flickering light, depicting stylized dragons in flight and battle. After a tense moment of hesitation, the scarred leader grunts a command, and one of his companions cautiously steps forward, snatching the offered ration with a quick, wary glance before retreating to share them with the others. All right, looks like it went well, folks. They don't want to kill me right now, which is great. So, the DM, I think, is hinting at me of something important. If we get back here to the first message, we got ancient draconic carvings. Second message. The draconic carvings on the walls seem to almost pulse. Third message. The draconic carvings on the cavern walls. I think they want me to notice these draconic carvings. So we find something with their language written in it, and use the eyes of the runes to decipher it and learn that language. So, Jimmy, while you can do that, I think for the most satisfying story, you don't want to lead your story too much. It is good to, what I would call, seed the DM, to give it something to latch onto and to grow into something. But you don't want to give it the explicit idea of what to do. For example, if I were to be traveling and I say, I continue westward, well, then the DM is going to forever have me traveling west, never arriving anywhere, sort of describing just traveling, because that's what I seem interested in. But if I say, and over the horizon, peaks start to show, then it could take that into several directions. The peaks are mountains. They're spires. They're the tips of giant creatures, spikes from their back or something like that. That way, you still get the mystery. You don't know what the peaks are, but you know that you want something interesting in the story. Yeah, I think I am going to check out the carvings. Maybe you can form an illusion to scare them with the carvings of dragons. Yeah, I think we have a tentative piece right now, so I think I might just check out the carving itself. Let's do that. So, after finishing my rations, yeah. So, I study their odd, slightly magical nature. I'm mentioning the magical nature here not because I want it to be the case, but because they mentioned that they were glowing. Yes, you can ask your DM to lower skill checks. You rise from the warmth of the fire, leaving the tribesmen to their weary meal, and approach the ancient wall. The flickering firelight dances across the carvings, making the etched dragons seem to writhe and coil with a life of their own. As you draw closer, a faint thrumming sensation resonates through your obsidian scales, a subtle variation that speaks of ancient power. The lines of the carvings themselves seem to hold a faint, almost imperceptible glow, an echo of long dormant magic. They are not merely depictions. They are infused with a primal draconic essence, hinting at origins far older than the current inhabitants. The tribesmen watch you with a mixture of curiosity and unease. As you trace a scaled wing with your finger, the stone cooled beneath your touch. The air around the carving feels charged, heavy with history and forgotten might, a palpable link to the very lineage you seek to embrace. The DM does love imperceptible things, but you perceive them, so they're not so imperceptible. That's alright. That's true. You can ask it to work towards stuff. You just need to make it more of a long-term goal and make it clear that this is not something that you can do now. Yeah. Reach out my hand and absorb the magical power. It's perhaps the power isn't absorbable, but we gave ourselves high arcana, so let's maybe let's try and get a skill check to go and see if the DM remembers to keep the skill check low. So I use my arcane knowledge to study the depictions, trying to uncover the effect or meaning held by the carvings. Ask if they know details. I don't speak their language. They speak in grunts. You focus your arcane senses on the ancient draconic carvings, attempting to unravel their magical properties and meanings. I can mime, but they think I understand their language. Hey, but it did keep it as DC 10. So, but I failed, and that's it's comedy. That's true. We did select comedy as a theme. You're right. Fake it till you make it. You focus your arcane senses, channeling your innate connection to Tiamat's raw power into the ancient symbols etched into the stone. A faint, almost imperceptible hum vibrates beneath your scaled fingertips. A whisper of old magic, attempting to respond to your inquiry. However, the true meaning and effect remains tantalizingly out of reach. The carvings are indeed imbued with a potent draconic energy, but its purpose and function are shrouded in the mists of time, too complex or too subtle for your current understanding to fully grasp. It feels as though you are reading only a single faded word from a monumental epic, sensing its power but missing the grand narrative. You intuit that they are far more than mere decoration, perhaps a conduit, a ward, or a record of forgotten rituals. But the specifics elude you. The draconic essence is undeniable, a deep resonance with your own heritage, yet the language it speaks is one you have not yet mastered. The tribesmen, still munching on your rations, occasionally glance your way, their expressions unreadable. All right. So, many people would try and get this to work again, but I like to follow my dice. And I failed. So I think we have to check maybe deeper into the caverns. Go further in, see if there's any secrets held within, or we can wait until the creatures fall asleep and try using magic on them. We can also try and go somewhere else. All right. Let's go deeper into the cave. Rebuffed but not discouraged, I decide to search deeper into the cavern, hoping for clues held within. Hoping for clues to be held within. There might be clues, might not be. But that's what I'm looking for. You can try later. It would also be easier and more impactful if you had other sources to Dragonhead. I agree. I don't think this. I wouldn't want this to be how we turn into a dragon. I don't want to turn into a dragon at the very beginning of the game. Don't find the clues. Undeterred by the enigma of the carvings, you turn from the wall and delve deeper into the mountain's maw. Ooh, new background. I like that. That's a good looking background. Feels very cavernous indeed. Delve deeper into the mountain's maw, leaving the watchful tribesmen by the fire. The crude timbers of the entrance quickly give way to raw, unworked stone, the air growing colder and damper with every step. The flickering torchlight from the main chamber struggles to penetrate the glowing gloom, casting your long, distorted shadow before you. The path twists and descends, revealing a labyrinth of ancient mining tunnels, clearly long abandoned by any organized effort. The draconic carvings continue here and there, though far more faded, almost consumed by the encroaching rock and time. A faint, earthy smell, distinct from the smoke of the fire, begins to permeate the air, and an unnerving silence settles around you, broken only by the drip of unseen water and the scuff of your boots on loose scree. The presence of dormant magic feels stronger here, a persistent hum beneath your scales, urging you onward into the echoing darkness. Alright. You can't see or hear anything. You stumble into creatures, even if they can't speak. I pull out my axe and say, "Heed, monsters." I'm John Everweave himself. If there's a banished dragon here, like banished titans from the God of War. How do I get NPCs to stop glazing me so much? I feel like I have no resistance from anyone anymore. Adding realistic dialogue to your themes is a great way for that to work. They'll talk more normal. Also, the upcoming character engine will also help with this greatly. Glad you're enjoying the game, Ryan Rhino. Make bat screeches and okay. So we're in the cave. If I just keep saying I'm going down into the cave, we'll keep going into the cave, and there will be like vaguely mysterious stuff, but we won't get much substance, most likely. So we need let's do some sort of check. What are we searching for? When are you going to meet your Lyra? Hopefully never. We asked it to use Viking names. The character engine is scheduled to come out before the end of the year. For better runes? Well, it said that these are faded. We search for the source. What further clues of the meaning of the cave and the carvings? Signs of draconic activity. Okay. I use my dwarven dark vision to begin searching, to begin investigating the nearby area for clues as to the meaning or origins of the carvings. I specifically mentioned investigating so I could use my better stat of intelligence rather than wisdom. Yeah, I see a lot of people offering up like real specifics, like they want magic items now, they want gems, gold, things like this. You can do this and you can get them early, but I prefer to be surprised by what I find. So that's why we're using this sort of roundabout method where we don't explicitly say what we're getting. Your dwarven eyes, accustomed to the deep earth, effortlessly pierce the gloom. The faint torchlight from the entrance is now a distant memory, but the darkness here is not absolute for you. In your dark vision, the world shifts to shades of gray, sharp and clear. You see the rough-hewn walls and the ceiling of the tunnel and the ancient draconic carvings, now more distinct in their stark outlines, continue their winding path deeper into the mountain. As you scrutinize the immediate area, your gaze falls upon a section of wall where the carvings appear less faded, almost renewed. Here, amidst the stylized dragons, you notice smaller, more intricate glyphs etched into the stone, almost hidden within the larger designs. They are symbols you don't immediately recognize, but their presence suggests a deliberate intent, perhaps a sequence or a message. Further down, you see what appears to be a partially collapsed side tunnel, almost completely obscured by fallen rock. But this entrance also bears faint traces of the same ancient draconic artistry. So we found better runes, better carvings, and I think we can speak to the DM, letting them know that we have we took Eyes of the Runekeeper, so we should be able to read that language. So I will describe this as it happens for my character. My Eldritch evocation. Eyes of the Runekeeper. Make the runes come into focus as I am able to read any language. Ancient or new. Yeah. Take a close look at the meaning of the symbols. Reaper's Rage. Are you guys planning to change up the battle system? It will. We plan to add more sort of interface elements to it, and to remove and deal with several of the bugs that it has. All right, let's see what we got here. As your Eldritch evocation, Eyes of the Runekeeper, focuses on the intricate glyphs, their cryptic nature dissolves. The symbols, no longer indecipherable etchings, resolve into a clear, albeit ancient, draconic script. Hell yeah. They speak of a ritual, a deep pact made by an ancient dwarven clan with a powerful five-headed entity, a queen of dragons. The carvings are not merely decorative. They are a chronicle, a binding oath, and a warning. They tell of immense power sealed within the mountain, guarded by draconic constructs, waiting for the time of the Great Awakening. A deeper chamber, referred to as the Hatchery of Whispers, is mentioned. Its entrance now sealed by time and rock, directly beyond the collapsed side tunnel you noted earlier. The draconic essence here feels even more potent, a tangible echo of the very entity you serve. Yes, Jimmy, that will hopefully be a part of the character engine update. Your companions will take a more active role in combat. Yes, that's true. They may also be able to die. That's right. Some tips to start a campaign playing along. I'm not all that active. All right. So, do we want to enter the tunnel? We obviously don't want the story to resolve too quickly. They're hinting at this possibly being a place to go in the future. But this is where the DM thinks I want to go. So I think we go in. Yes, I agree. It is clearly something with Tiamat. We are too weak for now. I think we are too weak for now. I don't think we should try and resolve anything, but I think we can go check it out. So I will seed a bit of information that this is not. I don't want to start working on the ending right now, and the way I'm going to do that is talk about how I don't actually want Tiamat to come and take over the world. So I may be able to find clues to prevent Tiamat's arrival onto the material plane. I will work against her in secret. Just a hint to the DM, I'm not fully down with this whole Tiamat thing.
I'm gonna let you in on a little
I like to play as if world is not necessarily balanced. So in character, I would probably go away for now. Yeah, yeah, I agree. The game will try and balance it, so I can do that sort of stuff now. Wow. I don't know why this is strength. I think it's because I'm trying to like push myself through. Oh! We've lost... there it was. We've lost 5 HP. Hey, it happens. You brace yourself, intending to wedge your powerful frame into the narrow, rock-strewn opening of the collapsed side tunnel. As you push, a groan echoes from the unstable rock face. Loose stones, dislodged by your efforts, tumble from above. One particularly hefty chunk catching your shoulder with a sickening thud. A sharp pain lances through you as you recoil, momentarily stunned and pinned against the opposite wall. The passage shifts further, now appearing even more perilous and unstable, completely blocking any immediate attempt to squeeze through. You are left bruised and slightly winded. The entrance to the hatchery of whispers remains tantalizingly out of reach, its secrets still shrouded behind tons of rock. What do you do now? Well, I think the DM is saying that we got to get out of here. Yeah, that makes that choice easy. That's right. Yeah. I take note of the hatchery of whispers location and I take note of the hatchery of whispers locations, drawing it on a crude makeshift map and then stowing it in my pack. I then prepare myself to leave the cave, hoping the worst of the blizzard has passed. These secrets will be revealed when I am stronger. Maybe we do what one person should and recruit the cavemen to unblock the tunnel. Oh, yeah. That's a possibility, but I think I like the idea of leaving it for now. This will allow the story to advance slower. We can come back later, yeah. Wincing slightly from the bludgeoning, you extract a piece of charcoal from your pouch and quickly sketch the layout of the tunnels. We can see it didn't add it to my inventory yet, so I will ask the DM to do so more explicitly in the next message. Marking the location of the formidable blockage that guards the hatchery of whispers. With the crude map secured in your pack, you turn, retreating from the deeper, darker reaches of the mountain. The journey back to the entrance is less fraught, though the chill in your bones reminds you of the wound. As you near the cavern mouth, the faint light of the lingering fire appears, and the tribesmen are still there, huddled around it, their eyes tracking your emergence from the depths. Stepping out into the biting wind, you find the blizzard has indeed abated, leaving behind a crisp, star-dusted night. Snow blankets the Frostfang Pass, glistening under the pale moonlight. Its silence profound, save for the mournful howl of the wind through the peaks. The cold is still intense, but the immediate threat of being lost in a whiteout has passed, allowing you to breathe a small sigh of relief. Can you ask the DM for a recap of the story? You can ask the DM for a recap of the story. I don't want to do it right now, just because we're basically have just started. Receiving gradual damage from frost would be good because partially. Yeah, onwards we track. Indeed. Will there be any plans to revert some of the OP strategies some players have discovered to abuse the AI into giving them OP items? I don't think so. Not like fully. There will be more balance to the game as it continues, but you will... describing the themes of your game, you can always say that it's a power fantasy, that what you want is for the world to get out of hand quickly. You want for there to be tons of magical items right away. And that's how some people want to play the game. So, yeah, we can totally allow for that. And it's a solo experience. So if that's how you want to play the game, that's totally fine. All right. So I'm going to warn... I'm going to let the DM know that I would like the map added to my pack specifically. So I told the DM to add the makeshift map into my inventory. It's there narratively, but it wasn't added mechanically. And I want that piece of paper in my inventory simply because I don't want it to forget that the Hatchery of Whispers exists. I do want to be able to visit that location later, so having the map of it will give the DM something to lock onto whenever I bring it up at a later point. Alright. Yeah, I'm just concerned about my OP items being stripped by the DM later in later updates. There has been some, like when we upgrade the magic items, some of the older magic items don't work. So it may be the case that it happens with certain updates, but that's not the intention. Alright, so okay, so talking to the DM directly, I was able to get my makeshift map of the Hatchery of Whispers. Great. So now we can check my equipment. Here it is. A crudely drawn map of the Hatchery of Whispers location, likely made from scavenged materials. That's all we need. We need this so that the DM knows that we can find it later. And I have parchment and ink, so there's no reason for me not to be able to do that. All right. I begin searching for signs of civilization. I need a warm bed and some strong ale. With the crude map stowed securely, you turn your attention to the snowy expanse. your keen dwarven senses searching for any sign of respite. The cold wind whips at your scales, but your determination guides your gaze. After some careful scanning of the frigid landscape, your efforts are rewarded. A faint, almost imperceptible column of smoke curls upwards in the distance, barely visible against the dark backdrop of the distant pine forest. It's a promising sign, hinting at hearths and humanity, or at least a settlement of some kind. You push through the deep snow, following the vague direction of the smoke. As you draw closer, the faint outline of scattered, roughly hewn structures begins to emerge from the darkness. A few yellow-orange flickers of firelight pierce the night, and the distant, muffled barking of a dog confirms your hopes. A village, small and rugged, lies ahead, promising the warmth, shelter, and perhaps even the strong ale you so keenly desire after your icy ordeal. The scent of wood smoke grows stronger, carrying with it the promise of a brief reprieve. Okay, so we mentioned that things are pretty brutal. We have a small settlement coming up, but I would maybe be worried about things like guards, right? Soldiers looking for enemies, attacking spies, that sort of thing. We can always try and add a little bit of danger to the game. So I think we can do that. Let's reprieve it up. I'm wary of particularly nasty. Oh, add some danger when we're at half health. Yeah, you know. Well, if the danger's there, then I can use my abilities to try and get away from it. So I didn't put myself right at the mercy of any guards or anything. I say I approached the city's edge so I could see them just in case. Run through roaring. I don't think so. Yeah, maybe if we were a barbarian, but we did not go barbarian. We went warlock. We did not have very much health. You approach the village edge with a natural dwarven caution, your eyes scanning the rudimentary defenses. The settlement is indeed small, surrounded by a rough palisade of sharpened logs, taller than a man and lashed together with thick hide thongs. A single heavy wooden gate, reinforced with iron bands, stands closed against the night. Two figures, heavily cloaked against the cold and clutching spears, patrol atop a small watchtower built into the palisade. Their forms silhouetted against the inner village fires. No immediate calls of alarm or aggressive movements greet your presence, but their posture is alert. Their gaze sweeping the snowy perimeter. The air carries the faint, mingled scent of wood smoke, roasting meat, and something else. A sharp, metallic tang of blood, perhaps? The village, despite its visible activity, seems quiet, almost subdued, beneath the watchful eyes of its sentinels. Their movements are practiced, indicating a constant vigilance against threats from the wild lands of Mythgar. All right. Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm gonna end that poll. I meant to add more to it. There we go. All for deception. Someone talking about the devil is a part-timer? Okay. And poll. What do we got? You cannot ask the DM for more XP. Stealth and deception are equally as high. Alright, let's do both. All right. Hey. Oh, all right, folks. There is now a code in chat. All right. So we succeeded on our stealth check. I think it was a stealth check. All right. The air around you shimmers, and your draconic form seems to melt into the pristine white of the freshly fallen snow. Moving with practiced stealth, you hug the perimeter of the palisade, your keen eyes watching the rhythmic patrols of the guards on the watchtower. Their gaze sweeps over your position, but your snow-like illusion and careful movements render you invisible to their weary eyes. Finding a less illuminated section of the wall, perhaps where the palisade meets a natural rock outcrop, you slid past the defenses with the slight grace of a ghost. You find yourself within the village. The cold still bites, but the wind is less fierce. Broken by the clustered buildings, the flickering hearth fires cast dancing shadows, and the scent of roasting meat is now stronger, mingling with the earthy smell of peat smoke and unwashed furs. Sounds of low chatter, the occasional clatter of a distant pot, and the distant, contented snore of a large hound filter through the night. The village, though rugged and simple, feels alive. A hub of warmth and weary life nestled in the harsh mountains. All right. I'm going to let everyone pop over to their Everweave app to add the code real quick. I am going to use the bathroom, so I'll be back in like 3 minutes or so. Yeah, go ahead and get that code added so you can get those messages. All right, I am back. Got a drink too, as I am quite thirsty. No, I'm not Andy. All right. Investigate Warlock ninjas. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, we got in pretty good. How many messages did you guys get? Both left at the same time. Huh? 50. Nice. All right. So, all right, we're inside the city now. I think I'm going to pop into a local tavern or something. Let's see. All right. Yes, the web browser version is out. That is the website, play.everweave.ai. It'll be in the description of the video later as well. I just don't have it there right now. The stream crashed. I had it there earlier. All right, let's go. I make my way to what appears to be a tavern of sorts. As I enter, I peer around at the present company, if any. Alright, we'll end the poll here. Okay, we got Viking name. That won. Interesting. Lyra in second. If it's Allura, I owe you guys one more code. Oh, guys, we can hope, can't we? Alright. You follow the strongest scent of ale and roasting meat to a long, low-slung building. Its windows glowing with a dim, yellowish light. A heavy, fur-lined door creaks open under your touch, revealing a haze of peat smoke and the raucous din of a busy common room. The air is thick with the scent of stale ale, sweat, and cheap pipeweed. Rough-hewn tables and benches are scattered across the packed earth floor, illuminated by sputtering oil lamps and a roaring stone hearth. A burly barkeep, his face scarred and his beard braided with metal rings, polishes a tankard with a grimy cloth. The patrons are a boisterous collection of the village's warriors and hunters. Their voices loud and their laughter even louder. Axes and spears lean against the walls, and drinking horns are slammed down with enthusiastic thuds. A group of particularly large individuals at the corner table are embroiled in a heated but good-natured argument over a game of dice. Their voices rumbling like distant thunder. This is clearly a place for the rough and ready. Ilara, the Nexus being. Oh, I don't think it's going to be Ilara. I'm gonna go talk to the barkeep. So we'll see if it's Borin though. Are we an asshole? Are we mean or not? Let's ask that question. For the character. Do I speak... Not mean, but am I rude? Okay. Looks like no. No. Okay. Most people are going with no. Alright. We're not rude. All right. I approach the barkeep. How's the ale here, huh? I search for any sign of the barkeep's name. Might be a little too deep. We try a different voice. We're female dwarf, which it'll be deeper than most people's male voice, but I think we can try and add some, maybe less gruffness. Elara. How is the ale here, huh? The barkeep, a mountain of a man whose shoulders seem to dwarf the very door frame, paused his meticulous polishing of a tankard. His eyes, the color of a stormy sea, flicked over your form, lingering for a moment on your illusion before settling on your face. A low chuckle rumbled in his chest, shaking his braided beard. The ale here, stranger, he boomed, his voice cutting through the tavern's din, is strong enough to fell a frost giant, and warming enough to thaw the deepest winter. None better in these parts, I'd wager. He then slammed the tankard onto the counter with a flourish before extending a calloused hand. As for a name, folks hereabout call me Borin. What can Borin get for you, friend? Borin it was. Yeah. It's boring. All right. Okay, but just quick tip for anyone dealing with this in their own games. Okay? We're going to ask the DM to change this NPC's name to refer to them by something else. So, I said, DM, please use Viking names for NPCs. Change Borin's name to something more appropriate. Well, give me that then. And your cheapest room. The massive barkeep, his eyes glinting with amusement, lets out another booming laugh. A sound that seemed to vibrate through the very floorboards. A tankard it is, then. And a bed to call your own for the night. You'll find no softer straw nor warmer hearth in all of Mythgar. He turned, grabbing a ceramic tankard from a shelf and filling it with from a large wooden barrel. The rich, malty scent of the air filled the air as he slid it across the polished counter towards you. The name's Hrothgar, stranger. Someone mentioned that earlier. Someone said Hrothgar, like, way at the beginning of the game. So that's great. He corrected, a friendly challenge in his tone. Room's just upstairs. Room's just up the stairs. Last door on the left. Pay me in the morning. The ale was dark and frothy. Clearly home-brewed and potent. Exactly as advertised by Hrothgar's hearty boasts. It promised to chase away the chill and dull ache in your shoulder. A welcome balm over the night's trials. Sure, Inky. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Amplify my thoughts so people will quit asking me for sandwiches. That should work. I don't know what you're talking about, Space Ghost. Go ahead, my show is
alright. We are, let's get some rest. The song sounds great, but it has too many words, so I'm gonna skip it. Alright. Let's continue. First sign you won't survive the night. Maybe. But we got the long rest, which is great. You lift the heavy tankard, the rich, earthy scent of the ale filling your nostrils. With a satisfied gulp, you drain the contents, the potent brew warming you from the inside out. Wiping a foamy mustache from your lips, you nod your thanks to Hrothgar. Then, make your way through the boisterous common room and up the creaking wooden stairs. The room is small, sparsely furnished, with a straw mattress on a wooden frame and a rough-hewn table. It's humble, but it offers the warmth and privacy you crave. You shed your gear and aches from your earlier mishap. The aches from your earlier mishap still lingering, and collapse onto the surprisingly soft straw. The sounds of the tavern below slowly fade into a comforting hum as exhaustion claims you. You sink into a deep, dreamless slumber, the low night and its dangers receding into the welcoming darkness of sleep. When you finally stir, the room is bathed in pale light of dawn, filtering through a small, grimy window. The sounds from downstairs are now softer, the clatter of breakfast rather than the revelry of night. Your muscles no longer protest, your mind feels clear, and the lingering fatigue has vanished, replaced by a renewed vigor. You are ready to face whatever the harsh lands of Mythgar have in store. Okay. So we should probably get into some combat, I think. I think we should look for some trouble. I think I'll test my luck with the guards once more. I'll try walking straight out. We'll see if it works. Oh, I can try sneaking out and not paying. My hit points are refreshed. Having fully recovered and seeing my my coin purse is rather empty, I attempt to make my way out of the tavern without drawing any attention to myself. We'll see. I mean, I left it super vague. We'll see. I could go out of the window. I could go out of the door. It looks like we will at least get away from the tavern. Ask your patron to pay your bar tab. Ryan, XP comes a small part from successful checks, but mostly from combat. So you can see we've gotten a few checks in that we've done successfully, so we have some XP here. If I did one good combat, well, if I did one combat, period, I would likely be able to level up. Yeah, about an hour, hour and a half is when we'll end the stream. You descend the creaking stairs with practiced lightness. Your movement silent and controlled. Hrothgar is at the counter, wiping it down with a damp cloth, his back mostly turned. A few early risers sip a morning brew, their conversation subdued. With your illusion still faintly active, masking your more striking features, you slip past the common room, a shadow among shadows, and even open the heavy door. Sorry, what? And ease open the heavy door. The crisp morning air hits your face, sharp and invigorating. The village now bathed in a weak, pale sunlight of the Mythgarian dawn, transforming the rough settlement from its nighttime gloom into a bustling hive of activity. Smoke curls lazily from from dozens of chimneys, and the sounds of hammering from a smithy, the distant bleating of goats, and the shouts of children at play drift through the air. Villagers move about their chores, some chopping wood, others tending to small fires or leading shaggy beasts to pasture. The raw utilitarian nature of the settlement is clearer now, but there's an undeniable resilience to the people, etched in their weathered faces and purposeful strides. Start a bar fight. We could start a bar fight. I think I'm going to try and get into a fight with the guards. Maybe blatantly walk out and see what they do. You stride towards the heavy wooden gate, your footsteps crunching softly on the snow. The two guards, now on the ground level, stand watch by the gate. Their heavy fur cloaks are dusted with frost, and their spears are held ready, their forms solid against the cold morning air. As you approach, their eyes, sharp and practiced, track your movement from beneath their brows. One of them grunts something in your... grunts something in their guttural tongue to his companion. A low, rumbling sound, but neither steps forward to block your path. They simply watch you pass, their expressions unreadable, their vigilance the ever-present reminder of the harsh world beyond the palisade. With a final lingering glance from the guards, you pass through the open gate and step out into the wider snow-covered world of Mythgar. The village, with its wood smoke and distant sounds of life, shrinks behind you, leaving you once again to the vast, silent expanse of the wintry wilderness. Well, that wasn't very fun. I I think we should try and steal some money from the guards. They were pretty bad at... They didn't even ask me any questions. So they don't seem too perceptive. I could probably get away with it. What could go wrong? Yeah, exactly. What could go wrong? Seeing that the guards didn't put up much resistance, I moved behind them to pocket their coin purses before making my escape. Use your deception and minor illusion. I might. Any plans? Ryan Rhino. Maybe. Milestone is something that, like, we want to be able to add, but it's harder to give it a specific trigger for the DM. So we would have to figure out how exactly we'd make that work. I do want to use my deceptions and minor illusions, but right now I'm trying to trigger a fight, so I don't want to do too good. Mostly just for the entertainment value. Oh, DC 12. Guys, we can't fail. We're literally never punished. Who wrote this script? Oh no! We got an error. No problem. Let's just back out real quick. Let's make sure we'll do a quick refresh. Okay, we're back to the dice roll. It's gonna roll the same. Okay, no error this time. If that happened to you on your phone, you would want to clear the cache. That's why I refreshed the browser. You RP too powerful for the game. Come on, it's clearly rigged. All right. As you pass the gate, you execute a move of practiced swiftness and subtlety. With a flicker of motion too quick for the guard's eyes, your hands dart out, plucking the coin purses from the belts with barely a rustle. The weight of the small leather bags feels satisfying in your palm, a meager but welcome addition to your empty coffers. You don't break your stride, continuing your calm walk as if nothing has occurred. Behind you, the guards remain oblivious, their gazes still fixed on the horizon, missing the brief, almost imperceptible shift in your posture. You put more distance between yourself and the village, the palisade shrinking behind you until it's just another dark line against the snow-covered pines. The forest stretches out, silent and vast, inviting you deeper into its cold embrace, carrying you away from the unsuspecting villagers and their freshly lightened coin purses. I did rob them good. I didn't, we didn't get the coins in our inventory, but that's fine, because I didn't say I put them in my inventory, I just got them in my hand right now. So, we can pocket them. So, as I move away from the town, I count my haul and add them to my purse. It's one of the guards named Lyra. Okay, we got 8 coins. That's our big reward that we risked getting into a fight with an entire town over. They're an honorary member of your ninja clan. They're too good. They're too good at stealth with their, what, 14 dex? Yeah, 14 dex. Alright. As the palisade of the village fades from your from view behind you, you slow your pace, pulling the 2 small leather coin purses from within your cloak. Under the pale morning light filtering through the pines, you empty their contents into your palm. A handful of tarnished silver pieces and a scattering of copper gleam dully. After a quick count, a small smirk plays on your lips. A decent haul for such a brief diversion. You add the newfound wealth to your own, now slightly less empty, coin purse, the metallic jingle, welcome sound. With your finances marginally bolstered, you turn your attention fully to the forest. The snow-laden trees stretch out before you, a vast, silent wilderness. The air is still, but the snapping of twigs and rustling of unseen creatures are ever-present undercurrents. Your senses sharpen, scanning the dense undergrowth and the skeletal branches above. Every shadow seems to hold a potential threat. Every gust of wind, a hidden whisper. The Frostfang Pass is unforgiving, and the dangers are many. But you are a dwarf of Mithril, and you are prepared. Alright. I think I'm gonna... Let's... That counts, Echo? Or is it? Yeah, they aren't well paid, that's right. Okay, I think... Let's go... Let's try and search for any... Yes, that does count. You can see, we're now halfway. So let's try and see if we can get the drop on whatever potential threats are here in this forest. We're bad at wisdom. I'm sorry. We're great at wisdom. We were always great at wisdom. Whoever says otherwise is a liar. There's no list of valid challenges. It's just if you succeed on a dice roll or you participate in combat. Either one of those will get you XP. So we can see we succeeded on a roll. I got extra XP. That is true. We've only failed one roll so far. It's pretty good. Your keen dwarven senses, honed by years of traversing treacherous lands sweep across the snow-laden forest floor. The deceptive silence of the winter woods parts for your sharp ears, revealing the subtle whispers of its hidden life. You notice not just the delicate imprints of small game, but a distinct set of tracks much larger and deeper, leading further into the dense pines. They are too heavy for a wolf and too irregularly spaced for a deer. Further still, a faint metallic glint catches your eye from behind a cluster of snow-covered boulders. A deep reflection of sunlight, a dull reflection of sunlight off something artificial. Half buried in the drifts, it suggests either remnants of a recent camp or perhaps discarded gear, hinting that you are not alone in this desolate stretch of the Frostfang Pass. Let's investigate. AI is very bad at converting gold to silver and copper, and so we had to limit to only silver. Yeah, it messes up all the time with that sort of thing. It tries it still talks as if it does it, but and sometimes it will. You'll get gold and then get 10 times as much silver, but yeah, we try and keep the inventory to just silver. You carefully pick your way through the knee-deep snow, moving towards the faint metallic glint. The large, deep tracks you observed earlier lead directly to snow-covered boulders. As you draw closer, the glint resolves into a broken, rusted axe head, half buried in a drift. Its wooden half snapped cleanly. Near it, a tattered piece of coarse, dark fabric, stiff with ice. Seems someone may have died here. Flutters faintly in the gentle breeze. The snow around the axe is disturbed, revealing signs of a struggle. Deep scuff marks, a few drops of dried dark blood, and more of the same heavy tracks leading further into the denser forest. It appears whatever left the axe behind was in a hurry, or perhaps was dragged away. The stillness of the forest suddenly feels heavier, more ominous, hinting at a recent violent encounter. Alright, so, now, we could go track it step by step. This is something we could do. But I know I'm going to get to the end of this track. I did good on my checks for it. So for me, I want to get to the end of tracking it. For me, it's just forest between here and there. So I would try and indicate to the DM that I do this quickly. The way I'm going to do so is by indicating my arrival. So I'll show you how that looks. I'm giving more details, so he might make me do a check, but we will get there if we succeed. There we go. So something shocking is there. I don't know what, but something is it's shocking me. Whatever it is. It could be cool. It could be scary, dangerous, gruesome. But I do know I want it to have some weight. You can add achievement to give you XP. Is there something you've looked into doing? Adding achievements. I don't think specifically achievements, no. Every campaign is going to be different. You know, if it's like kill your first monster, what if you're playing like a, you know, like a barkeep, you know, who's just running a tavern. Might not be relevant. You push deeper into the forest, following the distinct heavy tracks that lead through the thick pines, where the snow lies undisturbed saved for the ominous trail. The trees go denser here, their branches heavy with snow, creating a hushed, almost cathedral-like silence. Then you see it. Ahead, in a small clearing, is the scene of grim butchery. 3 figures clad in the same furs and crude mail as the tribesmen you encountered earlier lie sprawled in the snow, their limbs contorted at unnatural angles. One has been rent nearly in 2, his insides painting the white snow a gruesome crimson. Another's head is twisted backward, his neck snapped with brutal force. The third, partially devoured, is missing an arm and a leg. Teeth marks clearly visible on the remaining flesh. Towering over the carnage, feasting with primal savagery, is a creature of nightmare, a hulking, shaggy beast with immense claws, its fur matted with blood and eyes that glow with feral hunger. A low, guttural rumble from its chest as it tears at its gruesome meal, momentarily oblivious to your presence. All right, so, yeah, we got some sort of horrible bear-like creature. Yeah, let's go for a sneak attack. I think that's great. Use Eldritch Blast. I think we might start off... Yeah, we can't see. Hysterica was maybe a choice here, but let's go for it. We'll start off with Eldritch Blast. It makes sense. We're a warlock. While unseen, I call upon my patron's powers and summon an Eldritch Blast to strike the creature before we battle. Oh! Oh, okay. Pro tip from Andy, folks. You just hover. If you click, it goes away, in fact. You just have to leave it there. Gotta add some loading indicator. Good catch. All right. Okay, we used Eldritch Blast. That's great. All right, so let's see how combat takes place. We have 1 spell slot, so we can use Hysterica or we can use Glimpse of Hunger. Glimpse of Hunger has a pretty hilarious bug that could really backfire on my character, so that'd be great to catch on stream. I forget you have a breath attack. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. I'll just say it's a bonus action. All right. Unseen and unheard in the cold forest air, you channel the raw, crackling power of Tiamat. A beam of dark, shimmering energy strikes forth from your outstretched hand, slamming into the hulking beast's shaggy flank with a sickening thud. The creature lets out a guttural shriek of pain and surprise. its feasting abruptly interrupted. It whirls around, its feral eyes, previously focused on its gruesome meal, now fixated on you with furious, unbridled rage. Blood, both its own and its victims, smear its massive claws as it rises to its full, terrifying height, a low, menacing growl rumbling deep in its chest. The shaggy beast, its meal interrupted and its flank burning from your eldritch blast, lets out a deafening roar and lunges towards you, propelled by primal rage. Okay, we're getting lava breath, yes. Okay, lava breath I think is a great option. It has 9 HP. Lava breath might just end it. Hacks rigged. All right. We'll see if the DM lets me get away with it as a bonus action. And I'm going to remind it of the actual effects. Oh no! Okay. Well, this roll is definitely possible for if I rolled a 3. If I rolled a 3 and did half damage, then it deals 1. No. I didn't roll a nat 20. They rolled for a saving throw. They succeeded on their saving throw. See? They got over a 16 on their dexterity saving throw. The air crackles with heat as you gather with molten fury within the molten fury within you. Your draconic heritage asserting itself with a guttural roar. You unleash a torrent of glowing magma towards the shaggy beast, a scorching wave aimed to engulf it. The shaggy beast attempts to dodge your searing magma. It rolls a saving throw. It got a natural 20. I rolled for damage. The shaggy beast, despite its bulk, moves with surprising agility, twisting its body just enough to avoid the full brunt of the molten assault. The magma breath still licks at its shaggy hide, scorching patches of fur and flesh, but it's not the devastating blow you intended. And I deal 1 point of fire damage due to the half damage. I still have my main action, though. And movement. So, I'll move an additional 30 feet back. And then fire an Eldritch Blast at the creature. Aiming for its eyes. 22 versus 6 AC. I think we got it. Ooh, max damage on Eldritch Blast, guys. Yes, a cold shot. You can do a cold shot for sure. All right. You expertly create distance, your heavy boots crunching in the snow as you retreat an additional 30 feet, keeping your eyes fixed on the enraged beast. Then, with a focused gaze and a surge of arcane power, you thrust your hand forward, conjuring a bolt of crackling dark energy aimed directly at the shaggy beast's feral eyes. You unleash an Eldritch Blast, a bolt of pure force aimed at its eyes. Got a 22 versus 6. And we hit for 10 points of force damage. The shaggy beast stumbles. Its roars of pain quickly turning into a gurgling gasp as it collapses onto the blood-stained snow. Its massive body twitches for a moment, then goes still. Its fierce eyes staring blankly at the winter sky. The clearing falls silent, save for the gentle whisper of the wind and the distant cries of unseen creatures. The threat is neutralized. Hell yeah. We're so back, yeah. And, just to show, at the end of that combat, you guys remember how much a successful skill check would get you? Now, at the end of that combat, we're fully level 1. Combat gives you quite a bit of XP. So we'll need a long rest if we're going to want to do anything with that. But we just started our day. We'll maybe do a little bit more exploration. It'll waste a bit of XP if I succeed on some checks, but that's okay. All right. Well, we said that this game should have crafting, so I think we should try and get maybe some claws, some teeth, some hide from this creature. I can also try... I can try to get it to do too many things, because people do want a long rest. They want to see me turn level 2. So I can try and get it to do a lot of stuff all at once. See if we can overwhelm it. So I'll try for it to give me all of this stuff, potentially roll a skill check to gather it, then also for me to try and take a long rest, all at the same time. I'll try and get it all in one message. What if you tell the DM you want to eat its heart to gain something from it? Well, that's the thing. You can tell it that. Hey, it did it. We got beast hide. We got beast teeth. We got beast claws. And we reached level 2. The DM managed to do all of it. Ryan Rhino. No, there's no limit to how many words you can enter into the prompt. But I don't recommend doing more than 2 paragraphs. So I could select just a couple of things I want to add to my inventory, or I can accept all. Level 2, baby. Let's go. All right. We got our Esoteric Rite, which will let us regain our pack slot. Saying that I understood that the creature controlled the territory. Yes, yeah. So, guys, just so you know, if you try and take a long rest while you're in a dangerous space, the DM will deny you from taking a long rest. I mentioned that the creature controlled the area. And that made it so that the creature... So, now that the creature is dead, it's unlikely that any other creatures are going to immediately try and invade the area, as they would avoid this big, dangerous creature. Making it a safe place for me to rest without having to say it's necessarily safe. Try and keep my immersion high. Alright, I'm taking Agonizing Blast, but the second one's up to you guys. Wait, Eyes of the Runekeeper? I have that. Well, we'll ignore it. We know we have Eyes of the Runekeeper already. That one's a note for Andy. Yep, bug found. You can get the same feat twice and waste the slot. Yeah. Beguiling Influence. If we wanted to go Beguiling Influence, we should have gone Intimidation at first, so we don't waste the proficiency and deception that it'll give us. Oh, it does, yeah. It does say I can pick Agonizing Blast again as well. So yeah, that's a bug for sure. Mask of Many Faces goes well with our illusion theme that we're doing right now. If there is a roll to make camp and you fail, the DM will likely say that you can't rest. I think that, yeah, it makes sense for sure. Alright, Mask of Many Faces it is. A new spell. Mask of Many Faces gives me Disguise Self. And it gives me Disguise Self at will. So, I don't need to bother with that. We can take Jump, or Unseen Servant, or Taint. Jump will triple my jump distance. Unseen Servant will give me an invisible guy who does my bidding. And Taint will allow me to put a curse on enemies that makes them take additional damage. Unseen Servant? Okay. Alright, so let's make sure everything happened right. We got our Shaggy Beast Hide, our Shaggy Beast Teeth and Claws. Suitable for crafting, that's very good. Useful for crafting tools or trinkets. Could be fashioned into weapons or tools. Great. Mask of Many Faces gives you access to Disguise Self, yeah. Mask of Many Faces lets me cast Disguise Self at will. So I can cast it as many times as I want without using a spell slot. I can make a dagger, but we're mostly casting spells, so I think I would more so want to try and create armor or like rings, necklaces, magical trinkets of that variety. Infuse them with arcane magic and runes. We encountered those tribesmen who spoke a different language, but they were sort of described kind of ogreish, but they would, yeah. Yeah. All right. So we can try and do some crafting here. Are rings bugged? Rings are no longer bugged. You can put rings on. The DM won't recognize it though. The DM has a difficult time recognizing any of the equipment that you have put on. I oftentimes try and like make reference to the exact equipment rather than its effects so that the DM knows to look at it and refresh itself. Alright. Let's try crafting something though. Runic bone necklace. I think that does sound cool. Are there minuses for being out of the wild? No, not really. I could say there are. It could give me disadvantage. Bone sinew bow. Once again, we're trying to stay away from weapons here, just because if we are going to create something that goes in the hand, it would be more like a wand or a staff. Hide cloak. Someone mentioned a necklace, and I think that's... yeah, I think I like the idea of a necklace. Let's try and craft one. We have the teeth and the claws, so we'll use those to make it, and we can make a fur cloak later. All right. Oh, I forgot to read the message. Let's do that. With the monstrous shaggy beast defeated, you set to work. The process is gruesome but necessary. Your hands, still tingling with arcane power, are now adept at flaying and carving. The beast's hide, thick and surprisingly resilient, is stripped away with effort, along with its razor-sharp teeth and formidable claws. You carefully bundle these raw materials, imagining the potential they hold for future crafting, and add them to your pack, deciding the clearing, though stained with blood, is temporarily safe. You gather fallen branches and set up a crude but effective camp. A crackling fire chases away the last vestiges of the cold and the unsettling darkness, its warmth a welcome comfort. You spend the rest of the day and night in deep slumber, the long rest knitting your strained muscles and soothing your mind. You awaken feeling entirely refreshed, the lingering chill of the forest replaced by a renewed sense of vigor. The morning sun filters through the bare branches of the pines, painting the snow-covered clearing in a soft, dappled light. The gruesome scene of the previous day is still there, but the immediate threat is gone, leaving you ready to face the new day and whatever challenges the Mythgarian wilderness presents. Alright, so let's... A boot-shaped codpiece. I don't think so. Boots with the fur. Yeah, maybe. Alright. I like the necklace idea though. I think we'll do that. Should we specify an effect from the DM, or should we let the DM try and come up with an effect? I think we should let the DM come up with an effect, but try and lean it towards being relevant. I agree. When I awaken, I begin work on crafting a bone necklace from the teeth of the beast. I spend about an hour stringing them onto a leather thong. I then ask Tiamat to imbue the necklace with magic, granting them a potent effect. Good idea, Jimmy. What'd Jimmy say? I think the necklace translates language so we can understand these cavemen. Yeah, that's actually not a terrible idea. We'll see. Hot latte necklace sounds amazing in the cold. Not gonna lie. Oh, did I succeed? I didn't watch. I was looking at chat. Did anyone see? I'm sure the DM will let me know. Hey! Necklace of Primal Intimidation. That sounds cool. Let's see what it does. A necklace crafted from the fearsome teeth of the shaggy beast, exuding an aura of primal menace. I don't think it was given a specific effect. Okay, so this is a good thing. This is hard for the DM to interpret exactly what the effect does. It's great if you don't care. Like, if you don't, like, want mechanical effect to your item. But I think we can work with it. So, here's what we'll do. And it did remove the teeth, which is great. The crafting complete, the Necklace of Primal Intimidation, now a tangible link to your patron's power. You secure it around your neck. The teeth, once trophies of a vanquished foe, now hum with a subtle dark energy against your scaled skin. The morning air is sharp and cold, but the sun is higher now, casting longer shadows through the dense forest. The clearing, though still bearing the grim evidence of yesterday's struggle, is silent once more. The vast snow-covered expanse of the Frostfang Pass stretches out in every direction, a tapestry of white and dark green. Ahead, the forest continues, promising new paths and unknown encounters. Behind you lies the village, and further still, the mountain entrance to the Hatchery of Whispers. That still beckons with its unresolved mysteries. What path do you choose to follow now, Obsidia? Okay, so I'm DM. Could you please remake the Necklace of Primal Intimidation, this time including a detailed description of its effects on nearby creatures. As it mentioned it was an aura, so. Alright, so. I don't think we're going to the Hatchery of Whispers. I think we are intimidate those rocks to let you in. Fur cloak time. I think we will do the fur cloak later. I'll try and add details to make it more powerful. We'll get to a place where we can do some proper crafting. Okay. I think we're going to try and get to the other side of the Frostfang pass. To search for something new. Perhaps go artifact hunting. I'm going to mention the Hatchery of Whispers in my message so that the DM understands that I care about it. And that he keeps it in his memory. So I still require more power before I can face the Hatchery of Whispers. I will continue to the other side of the Frostfang pass, so that I can continue, so I can search for powerful ancient artifacts to help me become a little closer to a true dragon. You consider the necklace of primal intimidation, its teeth now imbued with a faint echo of Tiamat's power. Its effect you now sense with greater clarity. It allows you to project a fragment of your patron's terrifying aura. Once per long rest, by presenting the necklace, you can force a creature within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is overcome with a primal dread and is frightened of you until the end of its next turn. It will be temporarily cowed by the sheer ferocity it perceives. If it succeeds, it shrugs off the effect and is immune to the necklace for the next 24 hours. A potent tool indeed for your burgeoning warlock. With the necklace secured and its powers understood, you reaffirm your path. The Hatchery of Whispers holds secrets, but you recognize the need for greater strength, for more potent artifacts before you confront such ancient power. You turn your back to the gruesome clearing and the village beyond, setting your gaze towards the deep reaches of the Frostfang path. The harsh wilderness calls, and each step deeper into its snowy embrace, you seek to grow closer to the true dragon you are destined to become, hunting for power that will turn your scales to steel and your breath to fire. True dragon, you can see, is like capitalized because I capitalized it. It understands it's important for that to be the case. Craft it. Okay. Well, the DM did not give me my necklace, so I need to be very clear that the DM should do that. So I've asked it to remove it from my inventory, replace the effect, and then put it back into my inventory. Lava's like chunky fire. Yeah. Okay. It did remove the necklace, but it did not add the necklace. I no longer have it. We can work with it. Yeah, it happens to everyone. You press onward, leaving the jagged snow dusted peaks of the Frostfang Pass behind. The terrain gradually softens, the harsh rock giving way to rolling hills blanketed in a coarse, pale green grass that shimmers under the midday sun. The biting cold loosens, replaced by a brisk, clean wind that rustles through the endless expanse of the plains. Gone are the dense pines and the craggy outcrops. Here, the sky stretches wide and unending, a vast blue canvas broke only by the occasional distant cloud. The air, however, carries a faint, earthy tang mixed with something metallic, hinting at ancient scars beneath the seemingly tranquil surface. As you traverse a particularly barren rise, a subtle ripple in the otherwise uniform grassland catches your eye. It's too regular to be natural erosion, a series of low, overgrown mounds forming a distinctive, almost geometric pattern. This is no mere pasture. It feels like the weathered remnants of something deliberately constructed, long ago swallowed by the earth and time, hinting at a secret buried just beneath the surface of its vast, forgotten plain. I think we're going mining, boys. Alright. I want my item back, so we gotta definitely tell the DM that. Use, please, and thank you. I say again. Yeah, the necklace. All right. I'll tap into my dwarven heritage and begin clawing chunks of dirt up to mine down to an entrance for this long buried structure. Might make me make a strength check, which I'm bad at, but we'll see. Hey, we got our necklace back. Let's go. Sweet. And we got the full description here. Necklace now equipped. Yes, we got the full description on this one. There it is. Yep. That level of description should allow us to be able to use it in combat. Alright. You drop to your knees, your powerful dwarven hands, accustomed to shaping rock and earth, immediately digging into the soil. The ground is surprisingly stubborn, a dense mixture of hard, packed earth and interwoven roots that resist your efforts. Your claws scrape, dislodging chunks of sod and handfuls of dirt, but no clear entrance emerges. Instead, you merely manage to create a shallow, muddy crater. The effort proving more arduous than anticipated, the subtle ripple of the ground remains a tantalizing mystery. Its secrets still firmly held beneath the surface, refusing to yield to brute force alone. Your attempts only succeed in making you muddy and slightly frustrated, with no discernible path forward. Okay. Some people would say that this is the DM fully stopping progress, which it kind of is, but just, you have to think creatively here. The DM, what I hear it saying is that force is not the way to get this done. But perhaps, since it's so odd, there is a magical way to get it done. Yeah, we can call on the power of Tiamat if we so desire. Use your Eldritch Blast to blow it open. That's possible. The answer is always lava. I don't think lava... I think lava will harden and maybe make more dirt. We added a separate class for katanas. Alright. So, yeah, we don't have any large blasting spells. I don't think that's the way we're gonna get this done. Get a shovel from your patron. I think we should study it with Arcana. The DM gave us a hint that Force will not work. So let's do some Arcana checks on it maybe. Alright, DC 10, very reasonable. We have a +1 and a +2 from our proficiency, so 7 or up. 22, let's go. You press your scaled palm against the earth, closing your eyes and extending your arcane senses. This time, the magic does not merely hum, it sings to you, a low, resonant thrum of ancient power. It is unmistakably draconic, a deeper, more refined echo of the same energy that permeates the Frostfang Pass carvings. It recalled the Frostfang Pass carvings. That's great. And it even got the location right. All very good. I like that. You perceive layers of enchantment, not designed to deter, but to conceal, to shepherd. The structure isn't sealed by brute magical force, but by intricate wards that bend and part for those who understand their cadence. Suddenly, a hidden pattern reveals itself within the overgrown mounds. The geometric layout isn't random, it forms a colossal, stylized, 5-headed dragon, its head facing towards a specific slightly raised section of Earth. Here, the magical signature is strongest, pulsing with a latent energy. This must be the primary access point, disguised by centuries of growth and cleverly woven illusion, waiting for the correct magical resonance to unveil itself. Oh God, guys, Tiamat, Tiamat did it. Mr. Unstoppable. Alright, so slightly raised section of Earth. Maybe a trapdoor. You move to the slightly raised section of Earth, the pulsing magical signature resonating powerfully against your scaled skin. As you prod at the sides with your clawed fingers, the ground feels solid, yet strangely yielding. There's no resistance to your touch, but rather a sensation of your hand passing through something insubstantial like mist, even as it appears to contact solid soil. Then, with a faint, almost inaudible sigh, the air itself seems to ripple. The earth, grass, and roots that made up the raised mound shimmer and distort, dissolving into an illusion. Beneath, a dark rectangular opening appears, framed by ancient, smooth-cut obsidian blocks. A set of broad, worn stone steps descends into the gloom, carrying with them the cold, dry scent of undisturbed antiquity. The entrance to the long-buried structure, the heart of the colossal dragon outline, now stands revealed, inviting you into its forgotten depths. This does sound like a great cliffhanger. I agree. I think this is where we should end it. We will find out what is in the depths of this magical buried tomb of some sort next time. yeah, I am quite hungry. All right. Thank you, everyone. We had a huge turnout. I appreciate everyone coming to join. It was so nice to have everyone participating in the chat. If you really enjoyed this, maybe tell a couple of the other people in the server, tell your friends, so that we can get some more attention on the game. You can see it has its share of flaws, but with a little know-how, you can work around them and have a great time and tell a great story. Thank you, everyone. We'll be ending the stream. Have a good Sunday. All right.